people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the live stream. And welcome to all your latest Chelsea news. And of course, the match preview for Brentford, which kicks off in about 4 hours' time. The fourth London derby on the spin. Apologies, it's not been live much recently. There's not been much going on over the international break. I've been busy, but we're back. And the live shows are back, and we're going to be bringing them again on a consistent basis. So big up to everyone that's locked in. Make sure you're smashing up the likes. Make sure you subscribe if you're new around here. Get involved in the chat as always. And we have got a busy time coming up. This is the first of 4 away games on the spin now in all competitions. We've got Brentford, then we've got Bayern Munich, then we've got Man United next weekend, then we go to Lincoln in the Carabao Cup before 3 home games against Brighton, against Liverpool, and against Benfica. So yeah, exciting times, guys. Exciting times. But as always, there's loads to dive into. We're going to look ahead to the Brentford game. Datro Fofana has left Chelsea. He's gone on loan to a random Turkish club. Obviously, we signed Emanuel Amiga yesterday on a pre-agreement, and he'll come in 2026. We can go back over that. Plus all the latest injury news, team news, perhaps potential selection headaches. Cole Palmer is back in training. Lavia and Badiashile have returned to training, but they won't be available for tonight's game. So lots to get into. Make sure you get your thoughts, your questions in the chat. But before I say hello to some of you lot, make sure you check out Jersey's FC Soccer Shop. Link is in the description. Use code BLUEBROTHER for 20% off. Great quality, affordable prices, names, numbers, patches, whatever you want on the back. Do not miss out, guys. Use code BLUEBROTHER for 20% off at Jersey's FC Soccer Shop. Link is in the description. Right, that's enough about that. Let's talk football. Let's talk football. Let's see what you lot are saying in the chat right now. I'd rotate for the Brentford game. Fair enough. Yes, big up, big up. I think Gittins scores today. That would be nice, but I don't care who scores as long as we win. Our record at Brentford's not good. Yeah, no, the only time we've only won once at Brentford since they got promoted to the Premier League. 1 win, and that was Ben Chilwell. No, I'm not broke, so I'm going to be at the game. I'm going to be at the game. Yes, big up, brother. Yeah, I know. I've been a bit missing in action, guys, on the live front. I've been a little bit missing in action, but we're back. Don't worry, people. We are back, and we've returned. We're going to win 3-0. Fair enough. I mean, look, I'll be honest. Brentford, despite losing Thomas Frank, despite losing, obviously, you know, Mbuemo, Visser, Norgard, their captain, it's still a difficult place to go. There's no easy games in the Premier League, and there's no easy games away from home. Brentford is traditionally a ground that we have struggled at. You know, we've lost there. We've drawn there. It was 0-0 last season. I think it was 2-2 the season before under Mauricio Pochettino. So, yeah, you know, we've not had the best of luck with trips to Brentford. I mean, we've been on the receiving end of a few beatings at Stamford Bridge as well. They smashed us 4-1. I think they recorded a couple of back-to-back 2-0 wins as well. So, you know, I don't want to say they're a bogey side, but they are a side that we have struggled against in recent years. We absolutely have. Finally, yeah, agreed. We don't need Morgan Rogers. No, we don't. Yes, big up. I'm back. Garnacho train videos be like, I can't move my legs. Oh yeah, look, yeah, it's gonna be good. Look, will he start? I don't know. Will he start? Who knows? Will Buonanotte make his debut? Who knows? I mean, look, I would suggest that probably Jamie Gittins is more likely to start than Garnacho, but you just don't know what Maresca is going to be thinking. You don't know what the plan's going to be. You don't know how much of an eye he's going to have on Wednesday night against Bayern Munich. You know, these are all things that need to be considered. Yes, but we've also never won there. So, you know, that's what we need to change. Well, I mean, it depends where you live. It honestly depends where you live. Yeah, they did beat us at the Bridge. Yep, correct. Yeah, that is a change that I would certainly make. I would definitely be playing Jarrell Hayter, considering Cucurella played, 90 minutes in both internationals, I think, for Spain. So yeah, but look, let's get into a bit of news first, and then we'll get into the game itself. So a little bit of news is that we obviously, let me just quickly get into this because it's not a major bit of news. David Datro Fofana has joined Turkish side Fatih Karagümrük SK on a season-long loan. So I thought the Turkish window had closed. Maybe it hasn't closed. Maybe it's the 14th it closes. So yeah. So look, he's gone. It's a season loan. I presume they're a Turkish top flight side. I wouldn't have thought they were Turkish second division. But look, it's good for Datro Fofana. It's great that he's going to go out somewhere and play football. And that's all you want at the end of the day. Just go and play football. Go and do your thing. Because it's far better than fucking just sitting at Chelsea, not playing and just training on your own away from the group, demoralising. So yeah, this is good. This is good. I'm pleased with this. So yeah, Datro Fofana out. Go and play your football. And then there's an option to buy. If he does well, maybe they'll buy him. If not, maybe we'll get some more suitors coming in. So that's one more member of the bomb squad gone. And we're just stuck now with Disasi and Raheem Sterling. It's not far, maybe half an hour or something. Yeah, it's away game today, away game. Have I seen the Buonanotte stuff? Yeah, I have. And we're going to dive into that. We're going to dive into that. So, during the international break, a behind-closed-doors friendly was held involving senior players who did not get called up and the under-21s. Buonanotte scored 3 times, and a few of the players made a point of pulling the Argentine to one side to congratulate him. Now, yeah, interesting. You know, look, I think myself and like many other Chelsea fans, this was a bit of a surprising signing. This was a baffling signing. This was one where you're sort of thinking, I don't really understand why we've made this signing. I'm not really understanding where he's going to play. Obviously not been registered in the Champions League squad, but that could be for several reasons. But he does qualify as a homegrown player in January. So maybe that does increase his chances of being added to the squad for the knockout rounds, potentially. But look, clearly a talented boy. He's an Argentina international at 20 years of age. He's got a couple of caps. Brighton clearly see ability in him. He was on loan at Leicester last season. I think he scored 6 goals in 35 appearances in all competitions for the Foxes. You know, reports saying that Chelsea believe in his quality. They're convinced by his quality. Let's see what he's going to do. I still don't know how many chances he's going to get, how often he's going to feature, because it's a strange one. It is a strange one. I don't really know where we stand on that. So look, I want the kid to do well. Yeah, I don't get the signing. Yeah, I don't really think he's going to feature that much for us. But at the end of the day, he's here now. Let's use him and let's see how well he's going to do. Clearly, the group are, you know, taking to him as they should. Look, it's a positive to score 3 goals. Yeah, whatever. It's a behind closed doors game against the 21s or whatnot. Might not be, obviously not the best standard of match, but scoring 3 goals is 3 goals. You know, 3 goals is going to be confidence, whether it's a Premier League game, whether you're playing at the park, whether you're playing in the street, whatever you're doing. If you've bagged 3 goals, that's got to be some form of confidence boost. Yes, big up, bro. Hope you're doing well, mate. Hope you're doing well. So yeah, this is an interesting one. I've not seen enough of him to really have like a full opinion on how good he is, but I would just question how much he's going to play. Do I think he starts today? No, I don't. He'll definitely play against Lincoln. I think he's going to be one of them that will start a few Premier League games here and there. He'll play in the League Cup. He'll certainly start early rounds of the Carabao Cup. And we'll go from there. And we'll go from there, chat. You know, that's what I think we're going to see with him. Gittins, yeah, I think it's pretty nailed on that Gittins will start today. I agree that I'd be stunned if Garnacho didn't feature in some degree as well. Reminds me of Bernardo Silva. Well, I mean, I think I'll hold fire slightly on that. It wasn't just under 21s. All the players who didn't go internationals, bro. We don't even know if Palmer played. We've got no idea. Considering he just returned to training yesterday, I doubt that he played in this game. Buonanotte is the only player who can put Palmer under pressure in the 10 role. I would disagree with that. I think João Pedro is ahead of Buonanotte in the 10 role. 100% he is. If Pedro doesn't play at 9, he'll play 10 and they'll shift Palmer out to the right. So I would say he's behind Palmer. He's behind João Pedro. And even at times, Maresca might prefer to play Enzo Fernandez more advanced up the pitch. So we're looking at someone who's probably third choice number 10, if we're being brutally honest right now. And that doesn't mean that can't change throughout the course of the season. It absolutely can. But I would disagree, AB, that he's the only player that's going to put Palmer under pressure in the 10. I don't think that at all. He'll get opportunities. League Cup, early rounds of the FA Cup, sub minutes in the Prem, start some Prem games, in terms of the rotation. He's going to have the ability of being fresh after Champions League games as well. So that's going to be a plus. Maybe you'll see him start league matches after Champions League games, given that he wouldn't have played any football in the midweek. So that could certainly help us out as well on that front. But no, Enzo didn't go on the international break, which he was suspended, which is why he's obviously certainly going to start tonight. He was going to start tonight anyway. What's my thoughts on? Ridiculous, really. He's not had the best start, but it's 3 games. It's going to take time for the kid to adapt. It's going to take time for him to get used to the Premier League. Yeah, it's been underwhelming and it's been a little bit disappointing, but it's 3 games. So I don't think we need to be overly concerned on that front about Jamie Gittins. And hopefully, if he does start tonight, which I think he probably will, then let's hope that he has a good game. Well, look, let's wait and see. Pedro will more than likely start most of the games in Delap's absence at number 9. However, Mark Guiu is back, and I'm sure Guiu will start some games at 9, and Pedro maybe play some games at 10, and you might see Palmer shifted out to the right. You might see Pedro play on the right. You might see Palmer 10, Guiu number 9. So, yeah, look, there's multiple different options there. Bro, this always happens, though. This always happens. Always happens. So it is what it is. There's not really an awful lot you can do about it. People are going to have their views. People make opinions very, very quickly, too quickly, to be perfectly honest. And we've got to. That's just the way it is. I'd play Reece James. I would play Reece James. I know he started twice for England, but Gusto also played for France. Obviously, maybe not as many minutes as James did. I actually don't know how many minutes Gusto played. But it's an interesting one because you'd think that Reece will definitely start in Munich and you'd want to play Reece against Man United. So maybe Reece finds himself on the bench for the 3rd game in 4 in the league. I don't know. But look, this is good for Buonanotte. Maybe we'll see him tonight. And let's see what he's all about. Obviously, support him, give him, make him feel welcome. We all want him to do well. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting one, chat. I'm going to be watching Buonanotte carefully. I don't want to say I'm a doubter, but I'm one that needs to be won over on this transfer. Purely just don't get it, and I don't really see how he's going to play that much. But hey, hat-trick in a behind closed doors game, that's got to be good for his confidence. Let's see what he's about tonight if he's given the opportunity to go out there and do his thing. If he's given the opportunity to go and do his thing, let's back him. He's got Enzo Fernandez. He's got Garnacho. We've got a little Argentinian trio. So, yeah, they obviously have a little friendship group going on, whatnot. So, yeah, Buonanotte. Positive stuff over the international break for him. And, we're gonna move from there, chat. We're going to move from there. For me at the moment, Gittins isn't ready for Prem level. Maresca dropped him against West Ham and Fulham. Yeah, look, I think Garnacho will very quickly become first choice on the left wing. It was telling that Maresca, when Palmer pulled out the warm-up, didn't go for Gittins and shift Neto to the right. He went with Esteval. So it's clear that Gittins is kind of, at the moment, he's probably towards the bottom of the pecking order. Obviously not ideal, but he's towards the bottom of the pecking order. And that's kind of up to him now with the opportunities that he gets given to move himself back up. So yeah, that's the latest on Buonanotte. Maybe we'll see a couple of Chelsea debuts tonight for him and Alejandro Garnacho. But in terms of other boosts for Chelsea, there are a few guys. There are a few. The biggest one, Cole Palmer. The biggest one, because he is now back in training. He was back in training yesterday. And again, look, pictured for the first time yesterday. That doesn't mean definitely hasn't trained before then, but maybe it indicates that he's trained once really before this game. Now, it's an interesting one because obviously Palmer, despite the attacking players we've signed, Cole Palmer is still the guy. He's still the man that we look to deliver on the pitch and to make things happen. That's the reality of the situation. Now, you look at the games coming up. There's a big run coming up. It's Brentford tonight. Then it's Munich. Then it's obviously United away. You're not going to use him against Lincoln, I wouldn't have thought. And we're seeing now as well with injuries. You know, there's so many injuries, not just Chelsea, but it's being picked up in the Premier League in general early on. We've already lost the Lap. We've lost the Sugu. Badiashile and Lavia haven't returned yet. Palmer's missed the last 2 games. For me, we've got the cover in that position and we've got the quality in the attacking third to not have to put Cole Palmer straight back into the team after an international break. You know, we don't need to be doing that. And people will say, oh, yeah, but, you know, this is a really important game. This is the league. This is important. It is important. I agree it's an important game. But when you're weighing it up against the other games, this game isn't as important in my mind. This game is not as important. You know, it just isn't. I mean, is that a ridiculous thing to say? Well, I don't think it is. You know, I don't think Palmer does start. Joao Pedro might be managed ahead of the Bayern game. You know, and I'll tell you, look, I think with this game, right, yeah, it's important, but this is the 4th league game of the season. You've got 34 more matches to sort yourself out and to recover. You lose the Bayern game, it's not curtains, but you've got much less games to turn it around. You've got much less room, much less margin for error in those Champions League games than you do in Premier League games. Dropping points in your 4th league game of the season, not ideal, but it's not a disaster whatsoever. You're 34 more games to sort that shit out. If you lose against Bayern, the pressure's then on straight away. You've got 7 games to rectify it, and that's where the pressure can kick in. That's absolutely where the pressure can kick in. You know, so these are things that we need to look at, and these are things that we need to take into consideration when selecting the team. And Maresca has got a big headache. He's got a lot of selection headaches, a lot of players returning late from international, a lot of players, you know, long distance, a lot of traveling, have maybe trained once or twice before this game. So it's great to have Cole Palmer back. I wouldn't be surprised if he went straight back into the starting team, but I'm also saying that I don't think we need to be taking unnecessary risks like that with the caliber of game that we've got coming up. Why would you put Cole Palmer straight back into the lineup for this game and run the risk potentially of him getting injured when you've got Munich and United coming up next week? For me, it would make more sense to put him on the bench, use him in the second half, And then he's ready. He's got some minutes in the legs ahead of the Bayern game and ahead of the game against Man United next weekend. That's what I do. That's what I think personally makes the most sense on this one. But hey, other people think he should just go straight back in, and that's their opinion. And you know, they're more than entitled to it. But it's just fantastic to have Palmer back, because it has been a stop-start beginning of the season for him. One appearance just against Crystal Palace where he didn't do an awful lot. And then, yeah, obviously pulled out in a warm-up against West Ham, missed Fulham, didn't go away with England. So, yeah, let's wait and see what happens on that one. Maresca as well, raising doubts about how much the South American players are going to play as well. He said in the presser yesterday, the 3 Brazilian players arrived yesterday, so Thursday, but didn't train. Moy arrived last night. I didn't see him. I will see him today. For all of them, it is a difficult question mark for tomorrow. When they play in Bolivia, it's difficult. Hopefully, they can be back soon. So, yeah, that is tricky. You're arriving back late, long distance travel, big time difference. You've had 1 training session under your belt, maybe 2 at a push, although I doubt it's a really intense session before the day before a game. So these are the decisions that we need to make. But the problem we've got is, right, with the Sugu and Lavia both injured, whether we want to do it or not, Caicedo's got to play. Enzo Fernandez actually didn't go away, so he will start. And you've got Andre Santos, who went away as well. So 2 of those 3 have got to start in less than ideal circumstances. Because realistically, one of Lavia or Asugu, if they were both fit, would have started this game. One of them would have started this game if they were both fit. That's the reality. That's the reality of the situation, chat, is that one of these guys would have started this game out of Santos out of Lavia and Asugu if they'd been fit. But they weren't fit. And we've seen Asugu just go down, out for 12 weeks. We've seen Delap just go down, out until November. You know, you've got to be really, really careful when managing players. I'd love to play Caicedo every single game. But the reality, and especially this season, dictates that that's maybe not going to be the best idea. Not going to be the best idea. Because if Caicedo goes down, with Asugu out for 12 weeks, we're fucked. You're in big trouble. You're in big, big trouble if that happens. And we can't afford for that to happen. We really can't. Yeah, Esteval did score a debut goal for Brazil. Yeah, it was an acrobatic finish. Acrobatic finish from close range. But, you know, first goal for Brazil is always a big, big moment. First goal for anyone's national team is a big moment. I mean, look, I'd be hesitant calling a game must-win in the 4th game of the season. But given we go to Old Trafford next weekend and our record there is shocking, you do sort of find yourself erring towards the side of, yeah, we kind of do need to win this game. Every game's must-win if you think about it. Really, you want to win every game that you play. But I think we've got the squad capable of getting the win today. Absolutely. But I look at this, chat, and is it a disaster if we drop points? No, I wouldn't say it's a disaster. It would be disappointing. But again, the context of it is important. If I said to you, we're going to get 4 points from Brentford and United, we'd all take that. We'd take 3 at Brentford and 1 at Old Trafford. We should want 6. We should be going for 6, and we absolutely are aiming for 6. But I think right now, if I asked you lot in the chat, would you take 4 points from the next 6 games? 9 out of 10 of you are doing that. Let me know in the chat. Are you taking 4 points from the next 2? Brentford tonight and United next weekend. Are you taking 4 points on the next 2, chat? Please let me know in the chat. Because, I mean, ideally, I'd rather win United than win Brentford. You want to win them both, but if you can only win one, I'd want to end the streak at Old Trafford. I'd want to end. Yeah, no. We all want 6 points in the next. What I'm saying is probably, in my opinion, the majority of Chelsea fans would take 4. I'm not saying I want 4, but you take it. You'd absolutely take 4 from the next 2, given our record at both of these grounds is poor. We haven't won at Old Trafford since what, 2013 or something? And we've won once against Brentford at their stadium since they got promoted to the Premier League. When did they get promoted to the Premier League? Maybe a few years ago. So this is the problem, right? We've got the squad, but you suffer a couple of injuries, which is no one's fault, and suddenly you find yourself in a bit of a difficult situation. You're then like, shit, we're down to not bare bones in midfield, but we're now down to 3 fit midfielders in Enzo, Caicedo, and Andre Santos. So down to 3 fit midfielders. Strikers, we're down to 1, really. And then you're sort of hoping that no one else goes down. It is a concern, the amount of injuries that are being picked up early doors this season. It is a major concern. It is a major concern. But all we can do is manage the squad in the best way possible, train and recover in the best way possible. And then we just have to hope for the best. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Big up to everyone in the chat. By the way, guys, keep smashing the like button. Keep subscribing if you're new round here as well. I would greatly appreciate that. We're closing in on 18.4K. We are 19 away. So if there's anyone who hasn't subscribed and they're in the chat now, please smash the subscribe button. Let's try and knock off these last 19 subscribers to the next mini milestone, guys. Run it up, run it up. Let's make sure we do it. Crystal Palace still 0-0. Yeah, look, it was 0-0, but look, we didn't play particularly well in that game. That's fine. That's fine. It happens. I think 7 points on the first 9 was about as good as we could have done. Obviously, you always want 9, but it was as good as we could have done. So, yeah, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, I hate, like, South American players are great, but the international break is a nightmare. It really is a nightmare for that sort of stuff. It's just so annoying because there's so much travel. They're back late. The time difference is ridiculous. You're playing in all sorts of mad conditions. And yeah, you're not returning to the club in optimal condition. And so that is something that, yeah, that needs to change. That does need to change. And I don't know how we change that. Well, we can't really change it, to be honest. We can't. I mean, it's just the way it goes. It's just the way it goes. Yeah, it will be. We've got about 6 or 7 games in 3 weeks. Then it's another international break. And it continues and continues and continues. So, yeah, look, a few selection headaches. Let's see how many of the South Americans do start. Let's see how they're managed. Let's see, because we've got a lot of South American players now. If Garnacho and Buonanotte start getting called up again, that's Garnacho, Buonanotte, Esteban, Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez. That's 5, like, sort of key players who are going to be making long distance travel to South America. Not ideal, not optimal at all. In terms of other bits and pieces that are going on, obviously we signed Emanuel Amiga yesterday. I don't really think that came as a surprise. Maybe the announcement was a surprise in terms of when we got it. I don't think anyone was expecting that transfer to be announced this week, but we knew it was coming. We knew it was coming. And yeah, it's obviously the Nicholas Jackson replacement. Whatever happens with Jackson at Bayern Munich, whether that obligation gets triggered or not, Chelsea are planning to sell Jackson next summer. And Amiga comes in and he'll be that third striker. Now, whether he's going to come in and be ready straight away from the off to go into the squad and compete for minutes, I don't know. Maybe he will be loaned out somewhere else again. I'm not entirely sure, but reports are saying that Chelsea are suggesting. Reports are suggesting that Chelsea are expecting him to be ready for the Premier League next season. He's an interesting profile. He's 22 years of age. He scored 14 goals in Liga last season. He's 6'5". He's rapid. And he's a really interesting profile. He's captain of Strasbourg at 22. So he's obviously got leadership qualities as well. And it's a really interesting one. It's a really interesting one. And what I would say is that we've kind of complemented, we've kind of got all bases of striker covered. We've sort of got all bases of striker covered. By the way, chat, keep smashing the like button. We're only 37 likes. I know there's only 55 in the building. Saturday afternoon, maybe people got better things to do. Algorithms doing bits after the fucking transfer window and stuff. I knew there was going to be a bit of a drop off, but yeah, guys, if you're tuned in now, please make sure you're smashing up the like button. Let's get this to at least 50 likes as quickly as possible. So please smash that like button. It's free and it takes seconds to do so. And I would greatly appreciate it. So run it up, run it up. It was 0-0 in LFC Arsenal game in 80 minutes, and Szoboszlai ruined everything. Yeah, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. But yeah, look, Amiga, I'll keep more of an eye on him at Strasbourg this season. Let's see what he's about. Let's see what he does. But yeah, I think it's exciting, chat. I think it's exciting what we might get from him, what we might see from him. And I think what it probably does mean is that it's the end of the road for Mark Guiu at Chelsea. I don't see him having a future at the club. I've made that perfectly clear several times. I see no future for him. I made my mind up on that pretty quickly. Not because he's crap, but, you know, because I know Chelsea are always looking to sign other players, and Amiga is better than Guiu. And so, yeah, that's kind of the situation we're finding ourselves in. Guiu hopefully can contribute and step up in Delap's absence, but yeah, I look at it and yeah, I think it's could be end of the road for Mark Guiu at Chelsea with this signing. That's just my opinion on it. But yeah, Amiga, no surprises. There's no mention of a transfer fee at all, so it'll be interesting to see how much that is when we get there. Maybe, I don't know, 30 million euros, maybe 40 million euros. I'm not sure. What do we think? I've got absolutely no idea. I've got no idea what the fee might be, but that's another striker in. No, Jackson's going to be sold regardless, whether Bayern trigger the obligation or if he goes somewhere else. Nicholas Jackson is absolutely being sold next summer. That is the plan. That's what all the reports are saying. So, yeah, let's wait and see how he does. Do you prefer Liverpool to win games? Liverpool losing heightens our chances to win the league, but it also means Arsenal winning. Bro, Arsenal aren't going to win. Arsenal aren't winning the league, so I wouldn't be concerned about Arsenal in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, you always want Liverpool to lose. Of course you do. You always want the teams you're competing with to lose. So yeah, that's what I'd say about that. What else have we got going on? Let's have a quick look. Yeah, in terms of sort of who's going to replace Caicedo, it's a tricky one because Maresca was asked this question. Maresca was asked this question about who's going to cover Caicedo in Isugu's absence, because obviously Isugu was the Caicedo cover, and now that cover has gone. So he was saying, I think Andre can play 6. Otherwise, we need to try different things as tried in the past with, I don't know, Josh as a 6 or Reece James. But in the moment, for sure, it's Romeo, Moy, and Andre. And look, I know that Santos was touted as a backup for a Fernandes, or a different option to Fernandes, but he is he's got more to his game than just being a goal scoring midfielder. He can also play that deeper defensive role. So I think Andre Santos can fill in for Moises Caicedo in certain games. Romeo Lavia can do the same as well when he's fit. You can use Reece James in midfield in an emergency. So yeah, there are options there to cover Caicedo, but it's never ideal. It's not ideal to have him missing. Not ideal to have the main alternative in a Sugu missing for so long. That's a problem. Yes, mate. All good. All good. Hope you're well. Yes, big up, brother. Yeah, no problem, mate. Okay, buy and not by Jackson obligation, but we already have half of on the 37 mil. We paid £32.5 million for Villarreal. Maybe. Look, I don't think we'll be short of suitors for Nicholas Jackson next summer. That isn't a concern for me. That's not a concern for me. There will be suitors for him. Obviously, we'll see how he fares on Wednesday night when we play them in the Champions League. He's on the bench for Bayern Munich today against Hamburg in the Bundesliga. I'm sure he'll come on. I'm sure he'll probably make his debut at some point. So let's see how he does in that game as well. Let's see how he does. So yeah, look, those are the options. Santos, Lavia, maybe Achimpong or Reece in there. There are options to provide cover for Moises Caicedo if we need it. If we need it, the options are there for the cover. And that's important, chap. That is important. Moving away from that, someone asked me about the Emanuel Amiga situation. Now, this is from a Ukrainian journalist saying that Chelsea are thinking about filing a lawsuit against the Ukrainian Football Association because that's where the banned substance might have come from, and filing a lawsuit against Mudryk to get compensation for the transfer fee. Now, I don't know how true any of that actually is. It's only really being reported by this Ukrainian journalist. I've not really seen it anywhere else or anywhere mainstream. And as I said in a video the other day, the Mudryk situation is one of the most baffling things I've seen in football in a long time. A long time. So many questions, so few answers, so many things that aren't making any sense whatsoever. So, yeah, I don't really know where we're at with that at all. I don't know where we're at with that. It's a real strange one. It's a real strange one. I still maintain that he's been done dirty. And I do strongly believe that he's been done dirty. But the problem is, how are they going to prove that? What evidence have they got? Where are they going to get that evidence from? On that? That's going to be the tricky thing. That's going to be the tricky thing. So yeah, it's being reported by a Ukrainian journalist. Whether it's true or not, whether it's going to happen or not, I've got no idea. No. Look, if it turns out that it came from whilst he was on international duty and it come from the Ukrainian FA, then there's absolutely grounds to file a lawsuit against them. But again, we don't have the answers to those questions. Yeah, run it up, guys. Run it up. Big up to David. Chat, we're on 47 likes, 3 more to 50. We've got to be smashing this up towards 100. Come on, people. Run it up, guys. It takes seconds and it really helps me out. And I would greatly appreciate it, guys. Really would. No, Amiga's coming next summer. It's a pre-agreement for the summer. Pre-agreement for the summer. So yeah, that's that. Pre-agreement for the summer. So he'll be with us next summer. Are there options to bring that forward to January? I've got no idea. There potentially could be. I don't really know. No, not much. Just general chat about the game. Few loose bits of news. Let's do a team. Let's do a team for the game. Let's do it. Let's do a team chat. Let me just bring this up now. I'm going to go through a team. We don't want... What formation do we want, chat? We're going to go with the 4-2-3-1. Okay, let me see. Let me just zoom in on this. Right, I'm going to bring it up on screen now, guys. No, I haven't got Terry on the back of the shirt. No, I don't think I've got anyone on the back of this. Right, chat, can we see this? Oh, I don't want these ads on here. There we go. Chat, can we see this all right? I think we can. Yeah, perfect. All good. So, in goal, it is what it is. We know what's happening. I've gone with a 4-2-3-1 formation. I think we know what's going on here. So, Sanchez is in goal. As much as we might not want that, that's happening. So, there's not even any point debating it. Done. Let's go left back. Now, obviously, we all love Marc Cucurella, but we've got to come to a point where he's playing a lot of football and we need to get to a situation where he gets a rest. You're not going to rest him against Bayern. You're not going to rest him against Man United. Yes, he'll rest against Lincoln. I'd be tempted to start Jarell Hato in this game. I really would. Because otherwise, when are you starting Hato? Because you're not starting him against... you're not starting him against United. You're not starting him against Bayern. You'd start him against Lincoln. For me, I'm starting Hato in this game. Well, I mean, I don't think that's unreasonable. I would start Jarell Hato in the left back role. At centre back, for me personally at centre back, chat, I am going to go for... I'm going to stick Wesley Fofana in one of those positions. Because, again, similar sort of reasons. You're unlikely to chuck him in for his first start against Bayern. You're unlikely to chuck him in for his first start against Man United. And are you really going to wait until the Lincoln game to play him? Maybe he will. But I think this would be a good opportunity to start Wesley Fofana. I almost feel like Fofana's a little bit of a forgotten man at Chelsea. I almost feel like he's a bit of a forgotten man. Yeah, Hato is a solid left back, really good. Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to tell. It's so hard to tell. It really is. I don't know what we're looking at here, but it is difficult to know. It's difficult to know. So I'm going Fofana at centre back. Now, do you go Tosin or do you go Chalobah? For me, I'm sticking with Trev because I think Trev has been better than Tosin this season. Might not be much in it, but I think Trev's been better. I'm going to go with Trev. Anyone disagreeing on this backline so far? We've got Sanchez in goal, Hato, Fofana, Chalobah. For me, at right back, I'm then going Reece James. I know he played twice in the week, but he's only started one game for us. One game he started for Chelsea this season. And we need to get him playing. We need to get some minutes in the legs again, get him ready for that Bayern Munich game. So for me, I'm sticking in Reece James in the left back slot. Not the left back slot, sorry, the right back slot. We're going to stick Reece James. That is where we're going on that one. Reece James in the building there. So that there is the back line. What are we saying about that back line, chat? What are we saying about it? Gusto at right back. Yeah, look, I could easily see it. Fofana should be on the bench. Fair enough. Gusto, Defo starting. Yeah, I mean, look, I wouldn't be surprised if Malo Gusto did start, but we got to wait and see. We've got to wait and see what might happen on that one. We need to wait and see. But that's the back four that I'm going with. Now, the midfield is where it becomes a bit tricky, chat, because we've got no Lavia, we've got no Asugu. I think what we have to do here is we start Moises Caicedo. We start Caicedo in one of those positions. And then in the other one, and I'll explain why I'm doing this, because it will become apparent later on. In the other position, I'm playing Andre Santos. Now, I know both of these guys had a lot of travel to be doing on the international break. I get it. I get it. But I'm going to play Enzo Fernandez higher up the pitch because I'm not going to play João Pedro in the 10. And Cole Palmer, I would personally start on the bench with an eye to the Bayern Munich game. So I'm going Caicedo and Andre Santos in the central midfield. And then in that number 10 slot, and again, you know, number 10, if you want to call it that, but we know what it's going to be. It'll be an attacking midfielder. Maybe he won't be playing like a true number 10, but I'm going to be sticking Enzo Fernandez up there. That's what I'm going to be doing. Enzo Fernandez. So we've got Enzo in there. Now, that doesn't mean he's going to play like a number 10. You know, he's just going to be the most advanced of the midfield players. In terms of on the flanks. Now, for me personally on the flanks, I'd love to start Esteban again. I would love to, but I don't think Maresca will start him. And given the travel that he's done, it's going to be... I don't see him starting with the travel that's taken place. I really don't. I mean, I'd love it. I'd love it to happen, but I don't think it. So we'll see on that. So for me, because there's been less travel and whatnot, I am going to be going for Pedro Neto on this right flank. I think he's had a pretty solid season so far. I really do. So I'm going to go Pedro Neto. Neto on the right flank. On this left flank, I'm going to go Jamie Gittins. I mean, it's tempting to start Garnacho, but again, we've got to remember, Garnacho's had no pre-season. He's played no football. You know, I don't think Garnacho will start. I mean, look, never say never, but I would be surprised if he started. I would. I really would be. I'm not sure how much sense it's making to start Garnacho. That's just my opinion. Can Neto play 2 games in a week? Yeah, he can. He doesn't have to start both of those games, but he's more than capable of. So the reason why I'm going Gittins is because A, he's fit and he's ready, and B, as I said, Garnacho's had no pre-season. Plus, I think Esteban will be sort of rested purely because of the travel and he's still young and whatnot and still adapting. And then the reason I'm not playing João Pedro in the 10 is because obviously I'm going to play him as a 9, but I don't trust Mark Guiu to lead the line in this sort of game. And I think it's a bit too soon to be giving him an opportunity. I think it's a bit too soon. I think it's a bit too soon for Guiu. So I would be going with João Pedro up front. However, I equally wouldn't be surprised if Mark Guiu was up front, if he did go Caicedo, Enzo, stuck Pedro in the 10 and did go with Guiu. But I think that would be, I still think that would be a pretty bold call, chat. I think that would be a pretty bold call. So we look at this, right? Yes, there's 1, 2, 3 South Americans in there who started with a lot of travel and whatnot in the week, but I think we can manage this well. There's a bit of rotation. There's one change at centre back. There's one change at left back. There's a change in wing, and there's a change in midfield. So you're looking at sort of four changes to the team. I think that's a decent amount of rotation. It's more than a strong enough lineup to get the result done. You can bring Palmer on in the second half. You can bring on Garnacho. You can bring on Buonanotte. You can bring on these guys. Obviously, if you start all three, Enzo, Caicedo, and Andre Santos, I appreciate you haven't really got any midfield changes. I do get that. Although you could put Reece James into the midfield. You absolutely could do that. So look, by the way, I'm not saying this is going to be the team. This could be the team. This could be the team. We don't really know whether this will be the team or not. But we will we'll obviously find out in due course. Yeah, I hear that. I personally don't think he starts either of the games, if I'm being brutally honest. I personally don't think he starts either of those games. Palmer will play 10 against United, and it will be Joao Pedro in the 9. No, he's already confirmed that Lavia and Badiashile, despite being back in training, aren't going to feature in this game. Maresca said they're close. So, yeah, maybe it'll be I don't know, maybe it'll be the other one. I'm not sure. Bro, I wouldn't be surprised. Who else is starting there? Who else is starting there? Asugu is out. Lavia's out. You don't play Caicedo. You play Santos and Enzo. Bro, the rotation option is injured. That's the problem. The rotation option is injured. Maybe he will start Reece James in midfield. I don't know, but this is the team that I would go with. It gives you some rotation. Try and get the job done. Make a few changes in the second half to rest players again ahead of the buying game, and we go from there. This is the period now where we've got to start managing the squad. We've got to start making the rotation. We've got to start using the squad. There's a reason why we sign these players. There's a reason we sign these players and we sign this quality and this strength in depth, because we need it. We need it, chat. And if you're not going to use it, then there's no point having it. And these are the sort of games that we're going to have to use it in. We're going to have to use it in games like this. We've got a run of what? 4 games in 10 days, really. It's about 4 games in 10 days. Weekend, midweek, weekend, midweek. That's what we've got for the next 4 games. Reece and Gusto both start. Let's see. Chalobah can progress ball, but Fofana is bad in forward passes. I do not see a reason for benching Tosin. Fofana's not bad in forward passes. He really isn't. He really isn't bad at forward passes. I'm not really sure where that's coming from. I don't really know where that's coming from, but yeah, interesting one. Guys, keep smashing the likes, by the way. We're 70 in the building. We're on 56 likes. Let's try and get this to at least 70 likes. Run it up, run it up. Come on, people, let's keep it pushing. Let's keep it pushing. Just smash the like if you're new around here. Yeah, keep it going, guys. I don't think João Pesto will score because there's no such person, but yeah, João Pedro might score, yeah. I hope so. I think there is a bit of a selection headache. I mean, what is the common sense, though? What is the common sense? I think there is a bit of a selection headache. I'll be honest. I think there is a selection headache. Yeah, I think there has been. I think that's more central London, though. I don't know. I don't know the exact location, but I think that's definitely more central London. Yeah, sure, but he's not terrible at it. My point is, he's not terrible at it. Yes, big up, bro. Yeah. I'll be there. I'll be leaving soonish. We've got 3 hours until kickoff. So yeah, I'll be leaving soon. I'll be leaving soon. Yeah, Matt, look, I think this is certainly a possibility. That's one that absolutely can't be ruled out. I fully agree on that. I fully agree on that. This would be my starting 11 on the screen here. This is what I'd go with. However, I'm probably expecting that not to happen. Common sense, start Guiu and Gittins. I mean, I've got Gittins in my team there. Kukurea and Palmer bench, I agree. For me, Guiu's not going to do the business. We need to be starting João Pedro. I know it's irritating or whatever, but we need to be starting João Pedro in my view. That's what needs to happen, chat. That's what needs to happen. João Pedro starting. Yeah. Oh no, he'll get chances and he'll get opportunities. Absolutely, certainly more than last season because we're going to have to give him those opportunities. We're going to have to give him those opportunities. We're going to have to give him those opportunities, and he will get some. No, Guiu's cup tied. He already played in the League Cup. Yeah, that's a possibility. Well, but when's he going to start then? Because I doubt you chuck him straight in against Bayern Munich, or do you? I don't know. Do you chuck him straight in against Bayern Munich? Maybe you do. Yeah, look, give Pedro an hour, 65, 70 minutes, whatever it might be. Yes, big up to Blue Queen. There are numerous options Maresca can take. It'll be interesting to see. Yeah, there are numerous options. There's numerous options, and we're just going to have to see which ones he's going to take. Which ones will he take? That's what we need to be. That's what we need to be looking at. Mate, I would have terminated it years ago. It's not possible. I think we see Garnacho today. I think we see him today. Yeah, I obviously if he does well and he scores or whatever, absolutely, we'll shamelessly be there. We'll shamelessly be there. We'll definitely be singing it in the away end at Old Trafford, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. We will be there and we will be singing that. 100%. 100% we will be there and doing that. I'm sure he gets a few minutes. Yeah, I agree. Maybe. look, as I said, we've got options, guys. We've got options, and yeah, options can give you headaches, but options are also great, and it's good that, we're not quite sure what we're going to see. It's good that, we've got the choices. We can do multiple different things. That is a positive. That is a positive, and I'm pleased with that. I'm pleased with that. I look forward to seeing what he's going to do. I'm very much looking forward to seeing what he's going to do. Thoughts on Tottenham Forest? You mean Tottenham West Ham? I think Tottenham will probably win that game. Oh, yeah, this would be, if this happens, it would be amazing. Honestly, a Garnacho winner at Old Trafford would be, it would be sensational. It really would be sensational. We can dream. We can dream. No, I really wouldn't be that fussed. Madueke didn't do anything today that he's not done at Chelsea before. He played well. He had good games with Chelsea as well. It's nothing more. It's nothing more than that. I don't know why people get so bothered about it. I don't know why. It's a bit of a strange one for me. But yeah, no, Madueke was good today, but yeah, it didn't really need to be doing much, is my point. So yeah. So that's my team. I mean, guys, get your score predictions in as well. What are we thinking score-wise for this game? I think it will be fairly low scoring. I think there'll be one goal in it either way. I personally think we'll nick this game 2-1. I'm going to go 2-1, but equally, I could easily see this being a 1-1. I could see it being a 1-1. Which wouldn't be great, but yeah, I think 2-1 Chelsea. I think 2-1 Chelsea. I wouldn't be surprised if we went a goal down, but I'm going to go 2-1. Keep getting your score predictions in the chat, by the way. Keep getting them in, guys. I want to see what you lot are thinking ahead of this game. I want to see what you lot are thinking. What's negative? What, going 2-1 or thinking it could be a 1-0? Well, it could easily be a 1-0. I don't particularly think that's a negative thing to say. I am backing us for the win, but I do think this is going to be a tough game. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying it's going to be a tough game, because it is. And we just need to own that fact it's going to be a tough game. So what have we got in the chat? 2-1 Chelsea, 3-1 Chelsea, 2-0 Chelsea, 3-2 Chelsea. No, we don't. Look, to be honest, we've been pretty good defensively so far this season. We've conceded 1 goal in 3 games, and it was obviously that banger from Paqueta, which, to be brutally honest, I think Robert Sanchez should have done better with. Oh, bro, it's always W settings. It's always W settings. That's the most important thing. Yeah, it's nice to have a good performance, but ultimately, it's W settings. W settings. That's all that matters. W settings. Let's make sure that we're getting that dub come the end of the day. Yeah, performances will come later in the season. Early on, it's about getting the results. And that's what we are looking to do. Get the results on the board. Get the results on the board. That's it, chat. Pure and simple. 3-1. This isn't. No, it's not the same Brentford team of late, but it's not going to be a pushover. Nah, big up, bro. Yeah, this is good. This is good. I think this is 06-07 season. Oh, 6-07 season. Will you be going to the Champions League game on Wednesday? No, unfortunately, I won't be going to Munich on Wednesday, but I'll be at Old Trafford and I'll also be at Lincoln because we only do the best games, don't we? And the goal against Crystal Palace, Sanchez was meaty. Yeah, I agree. But on the whole, we have been pretty good defensively this season. There's no denying that. We have been pretty good defensively this season. I think that's fair to say, guys. I think that's more than fair to say. More than fair to say. But look, all good things do have to come to an end. Yeah, it should be a good game. Should be a good game. It's just good to be back at the football. It's good to be back watching the football, chat. This is the main thing. But yeah, let's have a look. What else is going on? But we have defended well this season so far. But I'm still yet to see anything from us in these opening 3 games where I'm like, wow, we played some nice attacking stuff against West Ham. But again, they were poor defensively, but we did show our attacking strength. We absolutely did. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I really am. Sorry, chat. I don't know what happened there. I think I pressed the wrong fucking button. Mad. Yeah, Brentford are difficult to predict. Forest beat them. They beat Villa. Did Brentford beat Bournemouth? Oh yeah, in the cup they did. Yeah, in the cup they beat Bournemouth. And then they lost to Sunderland. So yeah, they've very much been a mixed bag. Very much they've been a mixed bag. But again, Saturday night, London derby, under the lights at the G-Tech, home support. Those are little extra bits that are going to spur them on. It's going to spur them on. It's going to G them up. You know, they're very much going to be looking forward to this game. 100% they're going to be looking forward to this game. No doubt about it, chat. No doubt about it whatsoever. They are going to be looking forward to this. And so it will be tough. I think you sort of know what you're going to get from us, but with Brentford, I think you can know to a certain degree what you're going to get. But I also think there's going to be a bit of a degree of uncertainty about what you may or may not get as well. Well, obviously not of the season, no. But yeah, we obviously started the season with 4 London derbies in a row, and this is the 4th of those derbies. Guys, we're 84 in the building. Numbers are slowly creeping up. Make sure you are smashing a like on the stream. We're on 67 now. Let's get this up. Let's get this as close to 100 as we can. Everyone who's not liked the stream, make sure you smash a like right now. Let's get this as close to 100 likes as we can. And of course, keep subscribing if you are new round here as well. Every new subscriber is greatly appreciated. We are 18 subscribers away now from 18.4k. Let's get it done. Let's get it done, chat. So if you're not subscribed, smash up the subscribe button. And yeah, keep smashing the likes as well, guys. It'll be appreciated. So yeah, look, we're starting the season with 4 London derbies. This is the 4th of those London derbies. And then obviously we are going to be playing some more later in the season, of course. Champions League back Wednesday as well. This is all excellent, exciting stuff, guys. This is all excellent, exciting stuff, which we can look forward to. London to Bournemouth. I look at least a couple of hours. At least a couple of hours, I would have thought. Yeah, bus ride to Bournemouth must be a couple of hours. Yeah, has to be a couple of hours. I would have thought for Bournemouth, because Bournemouth's down the south coast. Yeah, I would say 2 hours. As a rough guess, could be slightly more, could be slightly less. But a bus ride to Brentford is very short, very, very short. Very short, guys. Let's have a look what news is going on. Any other bits that have come through? Any other bits that have come through? No, it doesn't appear to be. Yeah, we could maybe. We could. But again, I'm not. Look, the Bayern Munich game is really exciting. I'm not looking to that Bayern game until this game is done and dusted. That's what I'll be looking for. After that, I'll be looking at the Bayern game. But until then, I'm not thinking about the Bayern game. The next game is the most important game. So I won't be thinking about Bayern Munich until near 10 p.m. tonight when this game is done. That's when I'll be taking a look at the Bayern Munich situation. I watched that Amiga guy. He looks promising. Hopefully, he's not coming in January. It's a pre-agreement. He's coming next summer. He's coming at the end of the season. So there won't be any January business with him arriving. There'll be no January business with him arriving. So yeah, we wait there. We wait there. That's fine. You don't have to watch, bro. No problem. Each to their own. But thank you for your kind insight. No, it just means summer 2026. So anything referring to 26, unless it specifically states like a January or something, then yeah, it will be end of the season. So look, I'll keep an eye on what Amiga's doing at Strasbourg this season. Let's see if he can get more than the 14 goals he got in Liga last season. Vestival, Joao Pedro and Enzo did not start. My weekend fantasy team is cooked. I'll be honest, bro. I don't see all three of them starting. I think it's more than plausible that a couple of them start. More than plausible that two of them start. But yeah, I would be surprised if all three started. I personally don't see all three starting. Personally, don't see it. I could be wrong. Yeah, maybe. I mean, only time will tell how much he's going to play for us, how good he's going to be for us. But it's clearly a player that they think has got potential and they think is decent. I don't really know. To be honest, I think they're in conversations, and there will be an announcement in due course. When that announcement is, I've got no idea. But it is obviously a process that is ongoing, but there's not really been any major updates on the front of shirt sponsor. There's been kind of very, very little on that. Very little on that. So, yeah, the front of shirt situation is a waiting game. It's a waiting game on the front of shirt. So, at some point, we'll just get an announcement. When that point is, I don't know. So yeah, pretty non-eventful in terms of the front of shirt sponsor. Hmm. So yeah, anyway. Um, anyone else got any questions in the chat? Do let me know. Fire them in. Go for another 5 or so minutes, and I've got to get myself together and get off to the G Tech. That's what we've got to. That's what we've got to do in a few minutes. But anyone that's got any questions in the chat, do let me know. Big up, brother. Big up. Big up. Yeah, the midday lives will be back as well, chat. Obviously, yeah, today midday would have gone through the Arsenal game, and I thought, yeah, we'll just do a quick show before the situation, before this game tonight. But we're going to be back. We're going to be back with shows. I'm going to try and get more guests on as well, chat. I'm going to try and get more guests on as well. No, I don't think so. No. Who is the best at Brentford now? I don't really know. They got Igor Thiago, who was their club record signing before. They got Atara, who was at Bournemouth last season. Jordan Henderson is there. They got Kevin Schade. They've got a few decent players, a few half-decent players. I mean, how good they're going to be, I don't know. But they're not. They're no slouches. They're no slouches. Let's put it that way. They're absolutely no slouches. And it will be a tough game. No, Disasi, no chance. Vince McMahon settings for Disasi, no chance at all. I don't know when the Turkey transfer window closes. I think it's tomorrow. I think it's the 14th it closes. Yeah, 14th. So tomorrow, basically. I don't see Disasi's not going to Turkey. No, I can't see it. Disasi not going to Turkey, chat. Hendo's past. No, he obviously is. But he's still doing a job for him. He'll still do a job for him. Is the point that I'm making? He will still do a job. Is it still raining? Oh, no, it's sunny. Yeah, he'll do a job. Sterling's not scoring today. No. Who's going to score today? Hopefully, Joao Pedro. Maybe Enzo Fernandez. Maybe a goal from the back. Another set piece. That would be quite something, wouldn't it? If we can get another set piece notched up, that would be good news. But I don't know how likely that will be. I don't know how likely that will be, chat. Anyway, I'll have look, obviously they're weaker, and the players that have come in probably aren't as good as them, but they're still a respectable Premier League team, and we can't turn up expecting this just to be an easy game. We can't turn up just expecting it to be an easy game. That would be a really poor way to approach this. It would be a very poor way to approach it. We can't just turn up thinking it will be easy. Absolutely not. Because that's how you come unstuck in games. That's how you come unstuck. When you turn up with that sort of attitude, expecting to win before you've even got there. Yeah, we can't be coming with that approach, chat. We cannot be coming with that approach. Anyway, guys, with 76 likes, let's try and smash this up to 80. Smash this up to 80 likes and keep hitting the subscribe button as well. I am going to have one final look at proceedings. Any early team news, anything. And then we'll move. Yeah, Datro Fofana's gone to Turkey, yeah. Oh yeah, no, I did. I'll show that on the show tomorrow or Monday or whenever. I will show that. But yeah, that did arrive. That did arrive. I've got that. But anyway, chat, we're going to round this one out now. West Ham, Tottenham starting. I need to get to the G-Tech Stadium. So big up to everyone that's tuned in. Love for the support today. Obviously, numbers not as big as they have been in the past, but still appreciate every single one of you who's tuned in and supported. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy the game tonight, wherever you are watching. Smash the likes on the way out. Subscribe if you're new around here. And let's hope for a Chelsea win. Up the Chelsea, and we're out. Peace.